A while back I had an opportunity to go online and check out some cool books and look at, Batman and Superman, see some recent sales for some of their first appearances and their keys. And then I started to wonder, these are two big juggernauts, that have been around since the 30s. And we've got some superheroes that have been around as long as well. But these are your mainstream guys. And I thought about their first team-ups, their first appearances. But then I thought about, what's their comic book adjacent black superheroes? When was the first time you saw two black superheroes? All of a sudden, my black key set starts tingling. I go looking for the first two black superheroes to ever be in a comic book together. Well, don't just stand there. Go wash your hands, get dressed, because I'm about to set the table. For the record, no, we're not trying to say that the characters I'm going to bring up are at any point in time have ever been as big as Batman and Superman. However, at All-Star Comics number 7 is the first appearance of Batman and Superman inside of the interior of any comic ever. And the funny thing about this book is a credit for the first meeting of the two superheroes. The funny thing about that is that they actually never talk to each other. As a matter of fact, inside of one of the panels, they're just talking to this guy. I mean, they literally never ever speak to each other, but they're in several panels together, and you assume that they're conscious and aware that each other exists. As a matter of fact, they don't even meet until All-Star Comics number 36, and there's like a couple panels in there with them talking, and a lot of people establish that this is actually their true first team up, also their true first meeting. Yes, for you super nerds, super comic book historians, we are all good and aware that Batman and Superman first made their first cover appearance back in World's Fair. Matter of fact, they made two appearances on 2 issues of World's Fair, but they were not actually together on the interiors. Now then, before we get to the black superheroes, what about the white superheroines? Well, you got Wonder Woman and Supergirl. They first met way back in Wonder Woman 177, and they might not be the first 2 female superheroes, but they were at least one of the first. If you want to look into that, you can dig a little deeper, but that's just an example on how keys have already been established for more of your traditional white superheroes. Now it's time for the main event. But before we get to that, make sure you like and subscribe, tickle that bell. We work really hard in these videos, and if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and share these videos. We also can be found on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as TikTok. Thank you guys so very much. In the comic book world, a lot of people credit Captain America 169 as the first appearance of 2 black superheroes on the cover and 2 black superheroes inside of the interiors for a comic book. But for the most part, it doesn't carry the prestige. It doesn't even have any fanfare about it, even though technically it's historical. Well, it would be all those things if it wasn't 100% false. Here's the actual book, and here's why. Now, don't get me wrong. Captain America 169 is the first cover appearance of 2 black superheroes, but it's not the first appearance of 2 black superheroes in the interior of a comic book. But let me tell you where this book goes crazy interesting for me. Falcon says, man, I need to link up with Black Panther. He's a scientific genius. He'll give me the edge that I need to be a better partner with you. And at that point, that's when my black comic key sense start tingling. And I'm like, how did Falcon know who the Black Panther was? Like, they've never met before. Like, I get it's a comic book, you gotta suspend belief, but when has this man ever came across him? And so that's when the research began. So as I dug deeper to the mythos, I noticed something very interesting on Avengers 88. You guessed it, that's Falcon. The colors look a little off, but that's Falcon every day of the week. Falcon makes his first appearance with the Avengers in Avengers 88. Now, he's a guest, and I'll show you why he's only just a guest. But it's dope that he actually teams up with them way before he actually joins. But guess who else is also in this comic book? You guessed it, the Black Panther. I can already hear the folks crying right now. Oh, here we go. You're trying to spike a book. Actually, I'm not. This book is actually very affordable, but I'm just pointing out a key feature of this book that makes it important because it has an adjacent counterpart to it with Batman and Superman. And I get that Batman and Superman are bigger characters, but for historical purposes, this is still a book that stands tall on its own. These are two black superheroes in a mainstream comic book for the first time ever. And not just that, they actually have some interiors. Check this out. This work gets cool. Falcon and Captain America on a mission sanctioned by the Avengers. They come back and they report. And basically this guy that they captured and they beat up right before he dies, he mumbles out some stuff. And T'Challa was like, yo, y'all ain't really getting no information. Dude was just mumbling. And Falcon checks T'Challa and says, yo, look, if you think Cap's trying to woof, he's addressing Black Panther. And then he's told quickly, he's put in check by Vision by saying the Avengers are not foolish, honored guests. So they let him know, like, yo, we ain't dumb and you just a guest. So you basically speaking out of turn. So I thought that was interesting, man. Thought it was a great interaction between the two. It was short, but I thought that was great. We also got to keep in mind, if we go back to the first appearance of Superman and Batman in the comic book, those boys didn't even talk to each other. At least here you have some dialogue. And this is where we establish how Falcon knew to come for T'Challa to get assistance, on those wings that he will eventually get in 169 and 170. Such a dope issue. Such a great time for this to happen. It's so neat to watch how the comics and the TV show came together in full circle, as Wakanda did give him his new suit that was vibranium based. Man, it's just amazing. So check out this book and make sure you guys like and subscribe. Tickle that bell. Thanks for watching.